this is the remote motor option. What we're doing is we're going to change out the remote motor with the old one over here on the Sprint DSM with the new one I have here in my hands. And we're just going to look at it real quickly just to get familiar with it. Basically, this is the motor inside. You can see it turns nice and easy, has no ring around the outside, and just one connection on the back, and then electrical connections on the back as well. And what we're going to take off is over here on the Sprint DSM. The first thing we're going to have to do is remove this line here, and then on the back, we've already removed the two arrow clips that connect to the motor here and here. And then what we're going to do is release the pressure with attaching arrow clips. I'll show you that step. And then we're going to put this motor onto here just like that with it screwed and attached in place already. And you can see on the inside there's 4 screws that we're going to have to remove on the other side of the frame. I'm just going to release the gas. I just basically have my lines that I'm going to use to pump out the new cold head once we get this thing open. But just to purge the gas, you don't have to worry too much about these arrow clips coming undone because it's just connected to a brass nipple and the line over here. So even if it leaks, it doesn't matter because of this application. You're just trying to remove the gas. And so I'm just going to connect this one. And we should hear the gas come out once I open up the arrow clip. And then you can hear the gas come out a little bit. There you go. And then let me get the other side just to make sure that there's absolutely nothing under pressure. And a little bit hard to get to. And I think you could probably cut the camera because I don't think we're going to see any gas come out. But I'm just going to go ahead and keep on tightening this until I'm pretty sure that it's open. Okay. I'm not going to go any further. We would have gotten any gas out of there. Okay, so here's the old motor, and if you notice with the old motor, it has a top valve plate and a no ring, just like you'd expect. And basically what happened with this motor is it's just seized. You should be able to turn this motor rather easily, and it's completely stuck. So it's just broken. See a little rust on the back of the other connector as well. But what you want to look at is you want to inspect this element because it's important that it's not damaged, and you want it to basically feel like it's smooth. There's no big marks on it where gas would bypass through there and cause a diminished efficiency. And also check the valve plate in the back of the actual motor itself. We're not going to replace this part of it. This is very rarely ever gets worn out, but this little valve plate should also be basically smooth, not have any big indentations or any sign of visible wear, which it doesn't. So I think this is basically going to be fine. The problem with this motor was that it no longer turns, which is common after about 35,000 hours. So we're going to replace this motor with a new one, and we're going to basically just put the new motor on this orientation and connect these 8 screws.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
This will be a typical setup that you're going to use to basically purge and remove the air from the motor that we just replaced. So we replaced the motor, we got the new one on. This is our manifold. You can see that this has a handle on it. On that handle over there, we're connected to the pump. And on this side of this line, we're going to be connected to the helium gas. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to blow these lines out in case there's anything inside. Go ahead and open this up. And that way, if there was anything inside, it would now be removed. Because we don't want that to get inside the motor, because then it can get inside the cold head. So any dust or dirt or sand. And then we just are going to go ahead and put these 2 ones on. The 2 connections on the back of the motor. So this is just what I wanted to show you. Now you're going to have technical problems to solve. One is going to be the regulator, being able to fit the gas bottle. You can see we have a couple of adapters here. And the other one is being able to connect to a K25 flange to be able to connect to the pumping manifold. And you can see that we have a bunch of different adapters to get to our diaphragm pump. So those are the things you're going to have to do. And then we're going to go ahead and connect it to the motor, and then we'll show you the next video after that.
Yeah.
These are just, you're generally how you would take off normal air clips. There's nothing really special here. Again, with this part of the process, you don't have to worry about these backing off as much as you would with normal air clips. So I can just use my hands, put this onto here, and then just tighten these two down. Okay, that's on. And this one is on. So once we get these connected, which we pretty much have connected now, we can go ahead and begin pumping on the actual remote motor. So why don't you go ahead and turn that yellow handle down over here. Yep.
Turn on?
Yep. Okay. There you go. I got it for you. So you pull this up.
Yeah.
And you can hear the thing go in. And then we should see this go under vacuum, low pressure gauge on the front.
Yep.
So, that's it. Okay, go ahead and stop it for a while. Is that a video?
Yep.
Okay. So that's that smoke and that noise indicates that there might be a leak somewhere. So what you need to do is you just need to go through all these lines and tighten them. Make sure that this, we can go ahead and close this little valve here. And make sure that we're not actually pumping on something. Here's another area where it could be leaking. That was pretty loose. This one was pretty loose.
Yep.
And I think it was that one there. I hear the noise of the pump starting to go down. So now we're starting to, you don't hear any noise on the pump anymore. And now we can be pretty sure that we didn't have a leak, we repaired it. And you can see the difference in the pump between the two. So that's another little technical thing that you're going to need to solve when you actually do this, is make sure that these lines are fully tight and that they're not leaking anywhere. And I think we did.
Yep.
We've been pumping on the space. We're pretty confident it doesn't leak. So we've been pumping on it for a while. Now what we're going to do is we're going to close off the motor here. So we're going to close the motor off from the pump. We're going to open up you might want to get on the other side so we can see the actual helium. So this is ultra high purity helium. We're just going to open up this a little bit. Just go ahead and open it up, and you don't have to show this on video, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this up a little bit until we get a little bit of a positive pressure. Maybe 10 psi or maybe 15 psi.
Okay, now the 500 psi.
Okay, but on this gauge, this is a needle valve.
Okay.
So all I did was just crack this open, and on here, all I'm doing is filling this up with about 10 psi of helium gas, and then I'm just going to pump it out again. So basically what I'm doing is I'm diluting the mixture of gas and air or whatever is in the cold head or these lines, replacing with ultra high pure helium, and then go ahead and now I'm pumping it out. And once we get down to a low vacuum, and I stop hearing the pump make a noise, I'm going to go ahead and repeat this process 3 times. So I'm basically purging the system by flushing out the helium, air mixture, replacing with pure helium gas, flushing it out, replacing with pure helium gas, and doing that 3 times.
Okay.
So that's it. And the next thing we're going to do is connect the aero clip lines and then see if this works. That's what we've done. PSI, which is fine for what we're trying to accomplish. After purging it about 4 times, going back and forth with the purging and pumping. So we should have all the contamination removed. You want to be careful that you don't have the pressure drop up, increase too much. Because right now we do have the safety relief valve, but we don't want to have to go above that 400 PSI pressure relief valve. So 200 is good, and just kind of pay attention when you're removing it so you don't get a lot of leaks. Because if you do have the pressure drop back down to atmosphere, you have to repeat the process to make sure that you don't get any air inside. And once we get this one removed, then it's just as simple as putting the old clip back on and connecting the motor and seeing if the change repair worked. But this one, you want to kind of make sure it doesn't come screwed.